All righty. It is 1 o'clock, and as always, we want to be respectful of time for everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to join us for the final session of the week 6 topic, which is public speaking and presentation skills. So, just as usual, we want to make sure you check in, complete the post-session survey, complete your weekly questionnaire, which was sent last Wednesday, July 2, just to let us know how we're doing, what things are going well, what things would you like for us to do. If these sessions have been of value to you, please let your friends and classmates know. Send it to your organizations, put it out via your social media accounts, join our social media accounts, and put different tag us in different things that you're doing where this has been applicable. Also, drop in the chat a blurb, if you will. You can use this one, or you can create your own to put out to our to your friends and classmates. Our YouTube page or channel is up, and the previous sessions are there. If you missed a session or would like to review a session, the link has been included along with our LinkedIn and our Instagram code. Additionally, if you can, please have your cameras on. We love to see you, and we love to feel that energy that we get from watching you interact. Lastly, if you would, when you're making your comments or asking your questions, give us your name in the chat if you're putting stuff in the chat, or say your name before you make your comment or ask your questions. Make sure your name, major, company, and where you're located right now is in the chat. As we begin today's session, I want to turn it over to our student facilitator, Miss Genesis Franco.
Hello, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a nice day today. I am the student presenter for today. I'm not able to see the slides. I'm not sure if it's on my end or there you go now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm able to see them. Okay, yes. So I'm gonna start out first with presenting myself. So my name is Genesis Franco. I am a rising senior. My major is I'm a psychology major with major in Spanish, and the work experience that I have thus far is I'm a tour guide at my local community college, Blinn College. I'm in different clubs and organizations. Here in PV, I'm in Psych and I'm in Psychology Club, which I have. I'm in a part of the e-board in both, and then where I live, I'm also in a club called Compass Club. I completed 40-hour training on trauma, and I have completed training on the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale, which trains you how to deal with people who have like suicide ideation and thoughts. And I also have an internship at Sexual Assault Research Center, and I am certified in trauma informed. I'm a great communicator, and I'm also bilingual. So that's a bit about me. And now we can start with the presentation. So the title of today's week's presentation is called "You Already Have a Voice. Now let's amplify it." So everyone here in this has a voice. So we all are communicators, and we all communicate every day. And communicating doesn't have to be like in a big stage. It can be small as a team meeting. So our open up question is, if you had to give 1 minute update in a team meeting today, so like right now, if you had to give an update, how would you feel? Nervous, ready, unsure? And what is one word that describes how you feel about public speaking right now? And y'all are welcome to put in the chat, how do you, like, just one word or a phrase that will describe how you feel about public speaking. And y'all can put in the chat, or y'all can come up microphone and say it as well. And yes, I'll give you some time to say in the chat, and then we can move over to the next slide. So this is the very first slide that I am gonna introduce. It's titled "From the Classroom to the conference room. Basically, there are many ways that we can use public speaking, not just in big spaces. So there are three different examples for public speaking. One is daily updates, such as like just sharing progress and insights with your team and collaborating. That can be one on one or with two other people. And also another way of public that yeah, we can do public speaking is through team meetings. So team meetings are usually bigger, and it's with your home company and just like sharing when we share information and vice versa, picking on each other. That's also a form of public speaking. And another form is through networking. And I know when and I we emphasize just networking, talking to other people, and that like I said, is also public speaking. So like I said before, we like to emphasize public speaking isn't just like in a big stage or in this huge presentation. It's in like small moments as well. And whenever you're in a big stage or when one on one, it's important to take note how you're speaking, how you're presenting yourself, because people take serious what you have to say, you know. And so has there been any point in this semester where you had to present something in your company, you're interning, or in your job, and y'all are free? Like I said, y'all are free to drop that in the chat to come out and we and to come off microphone and share. You know, have you experienced anywhere you had to like speak in public? You know, and there's been many examples, you know, of students having to even in the sessions, like I know like one of my friends has had an interview. He's a part of interning at VA in Waco, and he had to like do one-on-one sessions with veterans. So he had to use like public speaking skills. I have there's been many in my intern. I had to interact with clients as patients on a one-on-one level. So I had to be friendly and open, and I had to give out resources about different things we offer as in our program. So like I said, if y'all are feel free to come on microphone or drop it in the chat. So this next slide. So if you're if not everyone is confident in public speaking, and it is very nervous and nerve-wracking. Even I still get like a little nervous and nerve-wracking. Some people are very confident, but you're you're not the only one who struggles with public speaking. And if this is you, you're not broken. You're brave. And you can also at this point you can also drop an emoji to reflect how you feel about public speaking in the group chat as well. So even like if you freeze when it's your turn to speak up, that's also like normal because it's like the body like reacting. Oh, I don't know what to do. It's just anxiety kicking in, and this happens because of adrenaline. And also, so if you worry about saying the wrong thing, also very common because you just care about like presenting well so much that you don't want to say the wrong thing. But it's often in the time. A lot of times, it can be in our head. You know, we think too much or we're overthinking. We overthink to the point where like I don't want to say the wrong thing. It happens. And if you still feel nervous even after preparing, like if you have prepared, gone over practice, also completely normal. Just means you're human, and once again it just means that like you want to you want to present everything well. But I will say that practice just makes everything perfect, and that energy that you feel that you want to do everything well, you want every just channel that into your delivery, and just acknowledge your feelings, and that's the first step towards managing them. So we can go on to the next slide as well. So public speaking, it's like a muscle, and it's not about being perfect, it's about being clear. So just have that thought. It's not about being perfect. I know a lot of times as students and having all these organizations and jobs, and a lot of times we want to be perfect. We want to everything, but it's not about that. It's just about being clear. And many times we do have to reframe our mindset. So Instead of viewing public speaking as a performance where every word must be perfect, no, there has to be no flaw. Think of it as an opportunity to build trust and to achieve clarity with your public, because that's ultimately the goal, just building clarity. So ultimately, the goal of public speaking is to convey your message, ensuring and also to ensure your audience feels understands you and feels connected to you, and focus on authentic connection, not attainable perfection. Just the key here is just paying attention to your audience, how they feel, even the social cues, how they're interacting. Just make sure that they're understanding, and make sure it's important to see that you're passionate about what you're talking about, because if people don't see like a passion or it's whatever, people aren't really going to Shireen, take you serious. And like I said, it's not about perfection. So the question that I will ask is, what's something you wish others understood about your work, your ideas, or your goals? So if they're in your interning or your work, y'all are feel free. Y'all can answer that in the group chat, like I said, or y'all can come off microphone as well. But if not, we can go to the next slide. So this next slide says say less and less say less so say less words and land more. So don't focus so much on saying everything, saying so much so information. Just focus more on clarity and purpose with your audience. So there's a three-part three framework that everyone can use. So always start with the context. So always explain more like the background and the context. Don't just jump right straight into it. Just like how Ms. Jones always opens up with like checking in and how everyone's doing and encouraging other students. That's the context. So what's happening. And like me, when my tours, how I always start off with like explaining the tour and introducing myself and trying to get feel to people, not just straight into the tour, because then it's kind of awkward, kind of if weird the context. And the second part is key points. So focus on the main message, like your main bullets and points. Don't just throw off so much information to people, because then people are gonna leave like they're gonna feel so overwhelmed with lots of messages. And then the ending, which is the third tip is closing. So what's after you finish presenting, what's next, why it matters. And this is a lot of times where the passion like comes in. So and this can be concluded with a clear call to action, next steps, or a brief explanation of impact or the importance. So you can also think of a project or class you're working on, and you can give a quick update using this format. And if y'all wanted to speak up, y'all can speak up. Oh, that's gonna be the breakout, actually. Yes, I jumped in too far, but yes.
Thank you, Genesis.
Yes.
Where now Genesis have went over the three-part framework, and
Hmm.
you will now use this three-part framework, the
Mhm.
context, the key point, and the close, to now share an update with your colleagues or your peer, your
Yes.
teammates in your breakout group. So I've already created the groups. Okay, so there's all groups of 3 except for one. There's one group of 2. So we'll be in here. You'll be in your breakout groups for how long, Miss Jones?
About 10 minutes, and I did just drop the worksheet. So if you guys will download that worksheet, at least whoever's going to lead the group download the worksheet so that you can follow it.
Yes.
So 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, so like Miss Genesis said, remember, this is not about perfection. It's about being clear, and that's what we want you to go in with. So use the three-part framework to create your update. Any questions before I open up the breakout rooms? If there be none, we will open up the breakout rooms for 10 minutes. Enjoy your discussion.
What are we going to be updating about?
So good question. So Harry, you know how you should have received instructions in the email. So you are to, like, let's say you have an upcoming meeting, right? And you have to give an update, or give an update on in your internship or employment, or you can give an update about a course that you're taking, a course project, right? So use any scenario to give a very brief presentation about
Yep.
it.
Yeah, it could even be like a project you said, like an English project where you had to meet up as well.
Yeah. Maybe it's something in the past, even if it's not
Or in the
current, maybe it's
past.
something in the past that you've done,
Mm-hmm.
you can talk about. Remember, just use the 3-part framework. Great question. Anyone else with a question? All right. Okay, hold on. So this tends to happen. So let me move because somebody dropped. Let me move. I'm gonna move part to 1. All right, I'll open up the breakout rooms now. You'll see a dialog box. Just click join. Kennedy, Roberson, and Chinara. You have any questions?
Lynn, did you send me back?
Yeah, I brought you back in here. Did you want to stay in there?
No, but I don't know. It looked like Harry only had one person in there.
Harry, no, P.
Okay.
Gatterson is in there.
Okay. Well, send them a text and tell them that I'm not coming back because I wasn't sure if you were intending for me to be gone or not.
Michelle, can you go in room, since you're the host, can you go in room 1 and
let them know.
Room 5 needs somebody too.
Huh?
Room 5 needs somebody too.
Room 5. I'm gonna move room 5 to room 3.
Okay, you say you want me to go in room 1?
Yeah, just let them know that Miss Portland won't be back.
Okay.
And iPhone, tell me your name, please.
It's Javion Looney. I'm trying to change it.
Javion, okay, thank you. I'm gonna put you, Javion, I'm gonna put you in a room. I'm gonna move you to room 1. You should receive the dialog box to go and move. Okay. All right. And where did Michelle go? There she is. Why am I not getting
Can't wait for us to start using more of this during some of the other sessions that we do during the regular school year.
Michelle is the host, isn't she? Yep.
So can you imagine just using this for like a practicing your elevator pitch session, just that. And so then you're not rushing because you're not trying to give them a whole lot of content. You just tell them what the elevator speech is and giving them an example of a couple people doing it and then partnering them up with somebody so that they can practice doing theirs.
I actually think that's what a lot of our presentations should be. I think it should
It should.
talk. There's that, like you said, like I like that format, the teach and then use the breakout rooms, even in person,
Yeah.
doing very interactive, because that's how you learn. I don't just learn by just listening. I learn
Yeah.
by also listening. And
We could talk less and show more and they get it more.
Yeah.
And they'll come more because it's more interesting than just hearing somebody lecture for you. And so
Yeah.
if you practice that elevator speech when you go to career fair, now you feel comfortable doing it because you've practiced it with somebody else and got some critique on it.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
think you should recommend that we have some of those sessions before the career fair. I don't know what sessions that you guys have already going on, but I need you to get engaged with making recommendations to Dr. Davis and Mr. Herb,
Mhm.
because right now they're only person who's really, well, I won't say the only person. I noticed that Danielle is giving a lot of input, and she's doing some of that because she's new. She ain't been burned
Mhm.
as
Yeah.
the others have. But I think it's time for you to step up your game.
Okay.
All right. So that would be a great one to um, have, and even doing them in the MSC. Getting a room um, and scheduling just some time for people to go and practice.
Yeah.
Get ready for the career fair. Come in, learn how to get perfect your elevator speech and practice your introductions to the recruiters.
Mhm. Yeah. When we do in person, it'll definitely be um finding a room that's conducive. I know for our senior class stuff, we are one of the workshops is being done in like site lab, and that's not,
Yes,
and I
but
told Evans,
but
I said,
even in the MSC where they have that lounge and stuff upstairs,
"Mhm,
I mean, all you got to do, it's not like you need to have a room that's sectioned off necessarily. You just have, you got 10 coaches, all 10 coaches are there. You come in and you get a chance to practice with a coach, or if you do it something that's virtual, when the number of people you have, you do what you just did. You pair them off and let them practice after we do some examples. I mean, those are,
Excuse me.
yes.
Uh, we can't find the file anymore in the chat. Me and my group were trying to get it. We couldn't find it.
okay, can you see the chat, Javion?"
I can see the chat, but I don't see I don't see the file in it at all.
Now that you've moved them out to the groups, the chat, the old chat's not there. They only can see the chat for their small group.
Okay, give me. Michelle, can you upload that worksheet up in there again,
Okay.
please?
There you go. We got two or three people that just came in.
Dorinda. Okay, give me just a second. So Javion, can you see the chat
Miss
now?
Riley.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So are you able to now go into your breakout room to see if you can see it from the main session chat?
I can probably just screenshot it and bring it to my group.
Yeah.
You work the same way.
Okay. That was Rylan, Dorinda, and Alexander.
Yes.
We are in breakouts right now.
I just got off the break room. Like my thing was finished. Or I
Okay,
didn't know
y'all
there
are
was a timer.
Oh, okay. No, 15 minutes. So Torinda's new.
I just
Right, are you able to get back in?
Uh, yes.
They have about a minute, so if you're back in here, because we went in at 1:15, 1:16.
I just joined, so
Hang tight, just hang tight, Dorinda, because I'm getting ready to bring them back. So let me send a message. Going to close all the rooms. Thirty seconds remaining. And y'all let me know if everybody's back.
We've got about
Oh no, I don't see it.
10 people or so.
They have only 2 seconds left. All right. All breakout rooms closed. Everyone should be back. For those of you that can come on camera, I would love to see your beautiful faces and to hear about your experience in your breakout room, your discussion. What was that like? Who am I hearing from first?
I could go first.
Who was me? I can't.
Alexander.
Alexander. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I feel like the first I brought the topic up. So it was kind of more of like explain context of the topic, and then we worked on like addressing like the formatting. So the topic, do I have to explain the topic now?
No, you don't. You just tell me what
Okay.
your experience was using that 3-part framework and, you know,
I
any
think it goes back with the ideology I tried to follow, which is when you explain something or sell something, you do a why, how, what. So like why people want to buy your why, not what it is. So you give the context, and then you explain how it relates, whatever you're doing, how it relates to your why. So I feel like those were the key points. And then closing was what it is, like what is it that you just explained to me, and that's kind of where I kind of follow with that.
awesome. And
Love
and
it.
Alexander, did you have like in your closing, did you have like a call to action for your folks? A clear call
Uh,
to action?
I wasn't necessarily selling it, but I did have like the actions I'm currently addressing.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Alexander. I appreciate that. Who else am I hearing from?
I go. Um,
Carrie.
so one thing that I will say using that format is just it's more direct and it's more when you speak, you kind of like a three part story, and it all comes together. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can always take this 3-part framework and make it to what you want, right? I've seen variations of this. There's one that's called prep, where it's called, you talk about the point or name the point, the reason, give an example, and then go back to reiterate what that point was, right? So that your audience, in Toastmasters, they say, tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them, right?
Yep.
So there's different variations of this. This is, like you said, Harry, is a simple one. So just remember when you're in the classroom, when you're on your internship, when you're on your job and you have to give some type of update, this is a really easy framework to remember. Anybody else?
So for me, first of all, I just want to say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So for me, I was actually in Alexander's group, and as we were like coming up with the topic and actually going through the worksheet, it was actually way easier than I thought it would be. It made It made our ideas like more clear, more concise. And I would say it's a great tool to use. Like if you're nervous, especially at that, it really helps you like get all your informations in order so you feel more comfortable like speaking publicly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that, Asad. I really do appreciate that. All right. Anyone else? We had 5 groups. So anyone else? Remember, you are what they call an elite panther. And this part of being an elite panther is also being an effective communicator. And so that's what we aim for. All right. Another part of public speaking and presentation is also your body language. What does your body, your body language speaks as well as you audibly speaking. So when we're on camera, are we giving eye contact, for example? Are we, we got to watch our voice tone, right? Like right now, as I'm speaking, this is not how I would normally speak, just off camera, right? I'm proud, I sound like this. But when I'm on camera, we got to elevate our energy, right? So, and the other part of the other element to public speaking, right, or just to speaking or communicating, let's just say communication, is your posture. So just be mindful of the nonverbal cues because they are just as powerful in virtual settings as well as if you are in person, right? As we continue to talk about public speaking or presentation skills, if you ever find yourself having to give a presentation, there's some things we have to be mindful of. Number one, I know I've been taught, not to let your slides steal the show. On your left, what do we see on the left-hand side here? What's the difference between them? I mean, you can see on the screen, right? Avoiding clutter and aim for clarity. But tell me why. Why is it important that you don't have a lot of text on a screen? Even though I've had a slide on here that had a lot of text on it. Who am I hearing from? This is not about being perfect. Come on.
Good afternoon. This is Patrice Gatterson.
Hey, Patrice.
Hello. So I guess you want to aim for clarity with less wordage on the screen due to not having like the audience read verbatim what you are going to say, but just give like those key points so that it can help you as a presenter know what's next, but it doesn't give too much information for the audience to be like, oh, I already read it. Well, I don't need to listen no more.
Exactly.
Good job.
Spot on. Spot on. That is exactly right. And so that's the reason why we do not allow, let the slides steal the show, because when we have too much text, people are focusing on the slide and not what you have to say. Very good. Now, what if you are in a situation that, like a team meeting, or you're in a one-on-one discussion with your manager and they ask you something that you don't know. Let's say you're presenting something to them and you're asked about something that you don't know. Here are some things that you can say and still remain have poise and remain professional. Listen, no one is looking for you to be perfect, right? And if they are, that's on them. That's on them. But here's a great way to answer that question. That's a great question. I'll make a note of it and follow up with you directly after the meeting. And then make a point to go get the answer and bring it back. Let me tell you, I learned that years ago. People respect that a whole lot more than you trying to make something up. Or you trying to, look perfect, or you trying to look like a know-it-all. They'll respect that a whole lot more. Here's another one. Here's what I know so far about topic X, but I'll need to confirm the specific details that you're asking about, and I'll get back with you. Patrice said this is right on target with what we were speaking on here. Yeah. Yeah. Do not be afraid and say, you know what? I don't know. Let me get back with you. Let me research that some more and get back with you. Right. Every day, public speaking is all around you. Earlier, Ms. Genesis said, you know, it's not about just stages. It's not about doing big presentations like this one, if you consider this a big presentation, right? It's in meetings that you have at work. It's in meetings in group projects that you have at school. It's in the one-on-ones that you're having with your supervisor, your manager, right? It's in asking questions. Public speaking and communication, effective communication is all around us. So take the time to practice no matter what the situation is. Because you don't need to be ready, you just need to be willing, right? Public speaking is a muscle that you build. And it is a skill. Let me just say this. Effective communication is a skill companies are always willing to pay top dollar for. You can be an effective communicator. You can get opportunities that others may not be able to get because they're just not willing to be committed to building that muscle. All right. So anyone want to share an experience? We're at the point now in this presentation where, you know, we're winding it down. This is the Q&A. Has there been opportunities for you this week to present or how can this presentation help you in future opportunities that you have to use your voice?
For me,
Go ahead, Nick.
this is gonna help a lot since I'm kind of winding down on my internship. So I have to prepare like project handoffs for some of my coworkers. So yeah, this will make everything a lot more easier.
Yeah, that's a good one. Project handoffs. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's a real good one.
Do
Who
any
else?
of you guys have end of year, end of summer presentations that you have to do on your project or on your internship?
Yeah, so I'm currently working on this. Basically, without saying too much, the centralized like that data dashboard for financial data. And the company hasn't had it. So I had to present to all the financial leaders of each region, basically the whole company at the end of the summer. And then I know I got invited to present it to the board the like later on in late August after I did it. But they want me to present it to the board. That good one.
Y'all have some big presentations, some big opportunities
That's
coming up
awesome.
to speak. Yeah, that is awesome, Alexander. Thank you.
Actually, yeah. On top of, I'm currently working with this. She's the head of HR in my company. She used to be a news anchor for like this Italy news channel. And she's been one of the things she's been teaching me is the public speaking, but more focused on how to articulate your words. So like she's been giving me vocal exercises to do before I speak. And I think that should be something I like better when it comes to like learning how to speak. It's just like how to prepare your voice or like
Yeah,
your voice and your tone.
that is a good one, Alexander. Let me just, so for those of you, if you want some resources, thank you for so much for saying that. I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said, Alexander. If you want to continue building your muscle, I highly recommend around building your muscle around communication, presentation, public speaking. I highly recommend Toastmasters. Join a Toastmasters. It's very inexpensive. I think it's $45 for 6 months, $90 for a year. There are people in Toastmasters that come from all walks of life. A lot of folks that come from corporate for sure. Retired VPs and presidents are in Toastmasters, and they have a lot of great advice to offer. The other is there's a resource, there's I wouldn't call him an influencer, but there's a guy by the name of Vin Jiang. He speaks directly to that, Alexander, about your voice. I got an opportunity maybe about 5 years ago to go to one of his workshops. He focuses on the technical or the mechanical elements of public speaking, talking about your voice and training your voice, and how, you know, when you're speaking, it's like the same as singing. I'm gonna put his name in the chat. You can find him on LinkedIn. He also has a very good course out there. But a lot of his material on LinkedIn and on Facebook you can find that teaches, you know, what he teaches in his course. Also, there's another resource I got him, Roger Love. He's another one.
So Alexander, will you give the rest of the team an example of some of the things that the ladies shared with you that might be beneficial to some of the other students?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that again?
Can you just give it a couple of examples of what the lady has been telling you that's been helpful or beneficial? So maybe some of the other students can gain some insights from what you're talking about as well. Some of the
Okay.
lessons you've learned.
He does the mooing, like when we start phonetics, we've always been taught, we get in the room, we just start doing like just doing like that exercise is doing over. Make sure before you present, you don't drink any milk or alcohol. You have to make sure you drink warm tea with honey is very, very beneficial to warm your throat and like to coat it. And then speak slower than you think. Think like you're like purposely speak slower, because sometimes like as we speak, or maybe like in our own languages, like I know Spanish is a fast speaking language. I tend to speak faster or just shudder to some words that I don't realize I do. And then think of like an accent when you're speaking. Because she says that sometimes like I feel like also avoid saying like slow down. And she says pretend you're putting on an accent of something that the way you want to present. So when I go present, like pretend or mentally tell myself I'm a news anchor and I have to sound super clear for all types of people watching me.
Thank you, Alexander. Those are great examples. Thank you for sharing. And like we encourage some of you other, you know, that are listening, if you have things that have been helpful as it relates to public speaking and presentation skills, feel free to share it with us, share it with the group, because this is all about helping and growing and developing one another. Anybody else?
I have something to add. I know it's probably cliche to say like you speak inside of a mirror, but that's one thing. And I guess just speaking in front of your family, like before you do that extra jump of doing it in front of people you don't know, be confident in presenting the information to people that you do know who can give you like that positive feedback or the negative feedback, so that you can know like what you need to do before getting into the bigger picture of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If we can do it amongst each other, we can definitely do it when we're outside of our comfort zone in terms of the audience. Yep. Thank you. Who else? Y'all have some really good wisdom here, experiences and examples to share.
I guess I just have a question. Like, say if a person with like speech impediment or a person who like has a lisp or slurs their words, I guess what that goes back to the Toastmaster, or how can this person like be confident within their own like, self?
So that's a great question, Patrice. And I know Ms. Jones have experience with this. So I'll say this, I believe, just sharing my experience with Toastmasters definitely helped you to be confident because it's a learning space. It's a learning environment. Everyone is there to learn. Everyone is there to learn. So, yes, you can with Toastmasters. You can also, for everyone in here listening, besides Toastmasters, you can also, this is something you can work with your career coach on. If this is a challenge for you, if it's an area of, where you need a safe space, your coach should be and will be your safe space to work with you in that area. And if Ms. Jones, if you want to speak to that as well, because I know you had experience with this personally with your students.
Yeah, so one thing you want to keep in mind, obviously a lisp is a little different than stuttering. But one thing you want to keep in mind is, what are you telling yourself? Right? Are you telling yourself, I have this problem, so I'm not going to speak well? Or are you telling yourself, yes, this is something that's a part of who I am. However, I am going to still thrive and succeed as a speaker, despite what others might say, despite what the norm is. I had a student I worked with. That student, we talked for 45 minutes. Just general conversation about the resume, about professional development, and then went into a mock interview with him. And the first thing when he started talking is he started stuttering, and he said, and he, then goes to explain to me that he stutters. And I said, do you realize we talked for 45 minutes and not one time did you stutter in that 45 minutes? But now, as soon as you're in a different mindset, you've been telling yourself you don't do well in this area. So now you're stuttering. After that, he didn't have any more problems. Obviously, in interviews at first, he had to get better and better, but went on and got an interview. An internship. And other students have shared with me, I have interview anxiety, I have speaking anxiety, but do you really? So a lot of it is about, what are you telling yourself, right? The biggest thing that I want you to understand is you are who you are. And your story is your story. So when you are up and speaking and it's something that you've created, it's coming from your heart, it's coming from your passion. Don't try to second guess, is this what people want to hear? Don't try to second guess, am I saying something that's important? If you feel led to present on it or in an interview, if you're telling your story, you can't make up what you and know what people are going to want to hear from you. So stand bold and confidently in your story and who you are, and tell yourself the right things. It's easy for us to fall into, I have this impediment or I have this issue, and now it becomes an apparent thing every time you're going to do wherever this thing is an issue. Now you're pulling in that negativism and you're struggling. And so that's one of the bigger things that, if I can't tell you anything else, Ms. Patrice, one of the things you said is you get in front of the mirror. I tell all of my students all the time, get in front of the mirror and tell yourself what you need to hear that day, right? Have little sticky notes. I have one person I work with, they got their sticky notes and they go through those things that they need to hear. A lot of it is, what are you feeding yourself with? And that's mentally, not food, but that's mentally. What are you feeding your mind? Go ahead, Harry.
I can speak on that a little bit. I have a speech impediment, and the best way I can say I helped myself is just like getting that experience and always trying. For example, I did have other offers to other companies, but I specifically chose project engineering simply because I am going to be forced to talk. Working, because my first internship was in a lab, and I kind of like, if I need to talk, I can, but I don't really have to. But with, when you're dealing with multiple managers and especially when they're putting the heat on there, you have to learn how to talk, and speak clearly. So yeah, that's the best way I learn myself.
Great. Yeah, it's important. One of the main things, the takeaways from what Harry said is what? He forced himself to be in an environment where he had to do what he didn't feel strongly or comfortable doing, what he felt he needed to grow, right? Look at things as opportunities, not as negative impediments or challenges, but what's my opportunity in this area? And what do I need to do to get over that opportunity and just thrive in that area?
Yeah. Great work.
Thank you all.
That's a
That
great
all
question.
really helped me.
That's a great question, Patrice.
Great conversation. And this, made me think of what what you just said about, why you chose the internship over another. We have to be willing to stretch ourselves, put ourselves outside of our comfort zone. And so as I want to wrap this up, one of the things I want you to do, I'm asking you, here's my call to action for you. And that is commit to one next step as it relates to your building that muscle around speaking and your presentation skills. Commit to that one next step. Where is it? What area of you want to develop more in? Listen, you may feel like there's many areas. Pick one. Start with one, right? Start with one. And then embrace imperfection around it. I cannot emphasize that enough, right? The more you embrace imperfection, regardless of anybody else's opinion about it, the more you embrace imperfection, you build that muscle and that confidence, right, as an effective communicator. And then seek small opportunities, place yourself. Now, Harry, you saw the big opportunity, right? But for those of you that are needing to take baby steps, do it. That was a leap, and there's nothing wrong with the leap. If you feel like you can take a leap, do that too. But just pick something and start, right? And that's what I want you to do. And you know what? I want then you to come back, email us and let us know. You know what? Remember that presentation in week 6? The call to action was to commit to one thing. I did it. Tell us what you did. Tell us what you did. And we're going to celebrate you, and we're going to celebrate with you. All right? Now, that's all I have. Now, Miss Michelle is going to take over.
All right. Well, we thank you, Ms. Georgia, Ms. Franco. This has been an amazing presentation. Let's see, Javion, any tips to better enunciate? I'll deal with that in just a minute. Let me just give the closing for those who may need to go. We want you to embrace who you are, right? Embrace all of you, the perfect, the imperfect, the great, the not as great. And give yourself grace that you're learning. Always be open to growing and learning and becoming better. Your best self will never be to the bestest, and I made that up, that you can be, because you're always thriving to do that same thing better the next time. That's just how you continue to grow, to continue to become better, grow your confidence. Now, those of you who are actually out on internships, we want to celebrate you. We want to spotlight you. I sent a flyer asking you to send us that information on yourself. So please, if you could get that information into us. We also are wanting any of you guys who want to do like a 15, 20, 30-second social media reel for us to send us those. We want to put you out there. You guys are ambassadors. You all took on this initial cohort program of Ignite, and we want you to be celebrated any way that we can. And we also will be having a back to school celebration where you guys will be highlighted. So we thank you. Monday, we go back to the 3 days a week next week, the 3 sessions rather, for the main topic, Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. And then we will have our special topic of Mastering Communications Part 2, where we'll just start practicing some of these social skills, doing the 30-second intro, doing some other things that are communication things. So come prepared. to present some communication type things, maybe practice a part of your presentations that you're going to do at your jobs. You know, a little bit of it to see how that is flowing, whatever you want to bring. So lastly, for those of you who want to stay, I want to address Javion's question, how to better enunciate. So for me, when I was growing up, I chose to the English person that worked with me, which ended up being why I majored in English, taught me about overstating, moving the mouth, using the muscles, and then being very emphatic of all of the words I'm saying. And so when you're doing it like this, the overage of it, this is practicing in the mirror. Then it becomes very easy for it to sound like this. How do I enunciate the word propensity, right? So just practicing and oversaying and overstating it, and then using the whole mouth and face to put into it. And then it becomes very natural for you. A lot of it is just practice, 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 practice. That is pretty much going to always be the case for anything that you want to get better at, for anything you want to overcome, along with mindset and attitude. Attitude is always going to be everything, which also helps to control your mindset. I hope that helped a little bit, Javion. We are always here as career coaches to go through these things with you as well. So if there are words that, yes, I like that, Harry. If there are words that are difficult for you to say, I used to have battles with my sister about how you say one word over the other. I love the whole Chat GPT and those guys, because they can go out there and see what the enunciation is. But yes, reading books out loud where you are, again, overemphasizing what you're saying, what those words are, is really, really important for you to get over certain words that are more difficult for you to say, or just, and slowing down a lot of times. And I'm one of those who can definitely speak fast, but slowing down, not feeling rushed or hurried through what it is you want to say, because you think, oh, the people don't want to hear me. I'm talking too long. Let me just have to say everything. No, they either are going to stay and listen or they're not. And you're not going to be bothered by it because you know the value you're bringing. Now, if you're just standing up there to puff up yourself and want to hear yourself talk, okay, yeah, that's too much. But if what you're saying, you know, brings value, don't feel like you've got to rush through it. They deserve to hear it all because you know the impact it could have on them. So yes, thank you. Anything else? Next week's topic is teamwork and networking. Link up and level up. Link up and level up. And we're going to have some fun talking about what it actually means to be a part of a team, how that carries over into so many other areas of your life, and what networking really means. The word networking can be very fearful if you don't really understand what it means.
Coach Jones, could you please go back to the previous slide for the post survey?
Okay, give me just a second. Here we go. Share. Nope, wrong screen. This one. All right, there you go. Oh, sorry.
Thank you very much.
You all are welcome. We look forward to hearing your comments on the session today, as well as anything else that you guys would like to share with us. You can always send stuff by email if none of the questions are working for what you want to share with us. Please, we welcome the feedback, and we also welcome any ways that you feel like you can contribute to the thought process of the internships and the Ignite program.
Yes, ma'am. And Genesis, I want to say good job today. I know you was the first to ever do it, but you did phenomenal, girlie.
Snapping my fingers. Thank you so much. And if you want to volunteer to work with me on teamwork and networking, you guys know how to reach out to me. Let me know. All right, thank you all. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Same to you. Bye-bye.